For the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's my pleasure, my privilege to be your host and moderator here for this afternoon. As I mentioned, very much out of my element right now. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. We had a big conference here. We had two special meetings. Dawn Marie had a VIP session, and she's right here in this area. We did it all on Zoom, but she had about 35 or 40 people, all supporting her presentation, benefiting from her presentation as a holistic practitioner. So we're very happy to support that. That was exciting. And yesterday we had a major meeting. The Healthcare Support Association of America had a meeting that was sponsored by the Eastman Financial Corporation. And at that meeting, there was a drawing at the end of the meeting where they gave away three 55-inch televisions, three brand new 55-inch televisions. So it's amazing to see the excitement and the energy that was generated there at that event. So we'll give you some more details about that later. But if you're here today, you're here because someone told you that we were going to be spotlighting and highlighting vision health. And we've had so many amazing discussions with Dr. Prasad, and I have some comments that he has made about that we're going to be looking to share and take some time to talk about. So you'll get a chance to benefit from that discussion. Vision health is a big deal. And I don't care what age you are, young or old, no one wants to lose their vision. No one wants to be in a situation where they're not able to see properly. Now, Vision Health Month was, I think, last month or the month before. I can't remember right now exactly which one it was. But the recording of that session did not take properly. So we promised everybody we were going to come back again and get that. So if you've shared your story at some point during the previous Vision Health Month, we want to hear that. And we're hoping that you'll go ahead and share any benefits that you've had from Dr. Prasad's formulas with the iBoost or the micronutrients that he formulated. We're excited to hear that. We want to give you an opportunity to do that today. All right, so let's get ourselves going. Please, for those of you who are here again for the first time, and even those who are not, every time we have a meeting like this, we've got to make it real clear that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. And when you hear testimonials, they're purely anecdotal. That means results are atypical. And that means that what happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Neither the Healthcare Support Association of America, Engaged Global, Dr. Prasad, Jonathan Jones, nor any of the authorized representatives, hosts or co-hosts, are making claims that any supplements recommended will treat or cure any disease state. This presentation is for information and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for a visit to your doctor. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. So you may get some comments from some of us, myself. We have Jeff Ashby, ambassador for Engage Global, company that we're partnered with. And he's got tremendous amounts of insights because of his years of experience and working with Dr. Kedar Prasad that could shed a lot of light on what we're talking about here as well. So let's get a little bit of background as far as eye health is concerned. These are just statistics that you can find pretty much anywhere. When we do our research, we confirm that these are the most accurate and most current statistics that are available to us. So 1 in 3 adults over age 65 has a vision impairment. And again, I'm not talking about folks over 65, but there's a whole lot of folks that are under that age that have issues. Things like macular degeneration is the top cause of blindness. 90 million Americans are at risk of serious eye disease. The threats come from a number of different sources, some of them disease-related, some of them oxidative stress-related, some of them just from normal things that we're exposed to. Sitting in front of a television screen or even our computer screens that we're spending so much time on, that blue light. We don't think much about it, but that can do damage to retina. So there are some people who have blue light screens. They have to wear glasses that blocks that because they're especially sensitive to that. There's a setting on almost every device now where you can put the eye filters on your devices that will block the blue light. So if you have not done that, we recommend that you do that. Diabetes, and a good friend of mine who was in Las Vegas, Nevada, this goes back about 2005, 2006 or so. He's blind, completely blind. And I thought maybe it was some kind of a genetic issue that had gone back years. I was shocked for him to tell me that he lost his vision because of untreated, undiagnosed diabetes. So that's a very, very real. And oxidative stress, we've heard Dr. Prasad talk about oxidative stress many times. If you're not clear on what that is, just understand that when it comes to toxins that we drink, toxins that we breathe, toxins in our food, those are free radicals. And the easiest way to visualize what a free radical is to imagine if you were to cut open an apple and expose the meat of the apple without the skin. In a very short period of time, it will start to turn brown. It will turn brown. And once it turns brown, now, we visually have all seen that. Well, that's oxidative stress. That's free radical damage. Now, before you say, so what difference does that make? Well, that's happening on the inside of everyone, that same level of oxidative stress, that free radical damage. And true enough, it may only be happening one cell at a time. And it's true, you've got trillions and trillions of cells. But if enough of that free radical damage, if enough of that oxidative stress takes place on an organ that you're particularly fond of, tissue, because cells make up tissue, tissues make up organs. If that organ happens to be the eye, that's what leads to vision loss. That's what leads to cataracts. That's what leads to oxidation, which is what cataracts are in the eye. So that oxidative stress is what can lead to vision issues and inability to see properly. And in these slides, over and over and over again, oxidative stress comes up. Chronic inflammation weakens eye tissue. Sugar spikes accelerate macular damage. Again, healthy vision is directly associated with oxidative stress. And controlling oxidative stress has a direct impact on cataracts and degeneration of vision. So we can't say enough about the importance of micronutrients when it comes to having good vision and having healthy vision. Can't say enough about it. It's essential when it comes to managing oxidative stress, and all of the nutrients that are critically important when it comes to vision are all encompassed in Dr. Prasad's formulas. And you'll hear a little bit about that as our discussion goes on. So I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Kedar Prasad and some of the comments that he's made on this subject. But just take a quick snapshot there as to this man's background. He became the world's first radiation biology PhD back in 1963, the first in the world. So he knows a little bit of something about radiation. His products have been awarded more than 10 US patents. I think when that was first published, since that time, his products have been awarded 2 or 3 additional patents. I got to get the exact figure for you so we can update that slide. The US Congress awarded him more than $12 million to do research on behalf of the military. In fact, the very foundation of the formula that we recommend, often in many cases, was originally formulated directly for the military. The United States government was the ones that contracted its formulation. And Dr. Prasad is the only scientist who stepped up and said, I can handle that. All the other major vitamin companies took a step backwards and just remained quiet. Dr. Prasad stepped forward. He stepped into it and took responsibility for it. All of his research taught him certain things that he now, as a scientist, became credited for. One of them was he discovered that vitamin E succinate has anti-cancer potency. What does that mean? Vitamin E succinate. It turns out that there's 6 or 7 different types of vitamin E. Dr. Prasad figured out which one of them is a vitamin E, just like you understand it to be, but one particular form of vitamin E succinate, just happens to kill cancer cells while it's behaving like a vitamin E, while it does what it does. So it crosses the blood-brain barrier. I don't know about you, if I got to have some vitamin E in me or in my body, helping my skin, supporting my body, supporting my organs, I just as soon have one that's killing some cancer cells. Oh, by the way, as a side bonus, he also discovered that butyric acid, which is a small component of the fermentation of fibers in the gut is an anti-cancer agent. He knows something about intestinal dysbiosis. He knows something about the microbiome. He knows something significant about the gut. Out of all the scientists on the planet, those are two of the many things that he's credited with as being the scientists that discovered those things. That's pretty significant. Looking further down, he was also invited to be a member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee for candidates in the category of medicine. Now, put that in perspective. I'm a nobody. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm research director for the Healthcare Support Association of America. I'm a health educator. I've been doing this for probably about 30 some years. No one's ever asked me my opinion about who should get the Nobel Peace Prize for anything, let alone in the category of medicine. No one's ever given me a phone call about that. I'm not putting myself in the same category as Dr. Prasad, but I am trying to say he's an unusual man. And out of all the scientists on the planet, only a handful of them have ever been given that privilege. Dr. Prasad has authored or co-authored more than 33 books. I think it's more like 36 now. And he's been published nearly 300 times in peer-reviewed publications. So Dr. Prasad has forgotten more than most of us know. So I'm going to stop here for just a moment, and I'm going to make the transition over to listening to some of the comments that Dr. Prasad made on this very important subject, because whenever Dr. Prasad can't make it, I guarantee you I will take the time. If I don't have it, I will capture what he has to say about the subject so that you and your guest can have access to this man's genius on this subject. And I have something for you. All right, so give me 1 second so I can just cue the spot where Dr. Prasad begins his discussion.
So maybe you could just tell us, just for validation perspective, the information presented at the beginning there, was that fairly accurate? Can we say that glaucoma really is as big of a problem as it sounded like there?
Yes, it is. What you presented is correct. But the question is, it is a chronic disease. And what happens in glaucoma, that our eyes have a drainage system, so excess of fluid drains out. But when they get blocked by whatever mechanism, then they accumulate and put a pressure, and that pressure causes damage to the optic nerve, and that can lead to a blindness if you don't do anything about it. So the question is that why this buildup occurs to start with? What are the causes? As I said, that in all our efforts, we always address the causes of that. And then you say, okay, if I know the causes, what we can do to relieve that point. So if you look, I was looking some literatures and found out that the increase, like you mentioned, increased free radicals or oxidative stress, as you know, this is mostly present in a common, until you have a genetic factor, it is mostly present in older people, 50 years or older. But if you have genetic component, then you can start at an earlier age when you are young. But the symptoms are same. The eye pressure, if doctor measures, is very high, like 20, 22 pressure. And that can lead to blindness. And so the question, so free radicals, and as you know, when we have free radicals, they induce inflammation. So these two are the major culprit that damages the drainage system. So now they can't drain the liquid and build up the pressure. So that's one place that causes this thing. Second place, which is equally important.
Oxidative stress, and folks sometimes lose out. So, pardon me, please.
Sure.
Some folks sometimes miss out on the fact that this oxidative stress and free radicals is that serious. It's not just a matter of feeling bad. It's not just a matter of something on the skin.
No.
Free radicals can do serious damage to the eyes and contribute to this problem.
And as you know, that older people, if they don't do anything for prevention, they always have a very high oxidative stress, because as your old cell changes, and there are multiple mechanisms by which oxidative stress occurs, even though you don't have a disease, just an old person. And and that contributes to this kind of thing, not only other illness, but also the glaucoma. And so then he said, okay, how I can do to reduce the glaucoma? Well, micro daily EMF, we have tested it. It reduces oxidative stress and inflammation. So that's one thing. and some of the individual micronutrient that you mentioned has been effective in some cases, but you require multiple antioxidants for a variety of reasons, because if you have one or two antioxidants, they can't accumulate in sufficient amount in your eyes. And this is very important to remember, the retina portion of the eye, which is like a lens of a camera, they have a highly oxygenated presence. In other words, a lot of oxygen is present in that environment. And that means it is potential to produce a lot of free radicals as well. And so anytime you have oxygen, a lot of present, you produce a lot of free radicals. And so the question is that how to protect that. And micronutrient is one way to do it. But then you said that, the micronutrient that we have, they may not be as effective, sufficient amount to protect optimal way against glaucoma, because eye has a protection, microdaily, eye has a protection.
But Dr. Prasad,
yeah,
tell us a little bit more specifically, because I know that there were a lot of folks long before you produced any additional formulas that benefited from microdaily. Could you give us an idea as to how and why microdaily can have a positive impact on the eyes?
Because it has a micronutrient and it will accumulate, especially antioxidant component of the micronutrient, including selenium, and they accumulate in the eye, and therefore any oxidative stress it can protect. But it may not protect optimally. Why? Because some of the micronutrient is essential, but eye needs much more what they already have it. For example, for protection of the eye, nature has provided two pigment, lutein and zeaxanthin. Both are antioxidant, and they accumulate in the eye more than vitamin A, C, and E. They accumulate, they need it there, so it is absolutely essential. But in addition to that, the eye has also have additional protection devices called lutein and zeaxanthin. So since I was developing this microdaily, so microdaily, as you know, it evolved from the microdaily, which was the original formula, and the reason it evolved to that point today, because we also at the same time want to protect it against the EMF radiation, which is emitted from your cell phone, computer, and Wi-Fi, and so on. And so original, for our purposes, original formula is also good if you prefer that. And so that's one thing. But I thought that it is not sufficient. It is okay to protect certain amount because it does not accumulate as much eye needs to protect against glaucoma or some other kind of eye diseases. And so I looked into that, what kind of antioxidant naturally eye has it. And they had, as I said, lutein, which is isolated from marigold flower, by the way, is very rich. And that's why the marigold flower stay in the sun for a long, long time than any other flower, because this is loaded with lutein. And some company, a smart company, isolated and so on and so forth. But this is, but the eye has mostly lutein, but also has another pigment, zeaxanthin. And these are also very strong antioxidant. So I get protected not from the A, B, C that we have in our formulation, but it has additional protection because they are located in the right place to protect each component of the eye structure. And then, so I was thinking that how I can improve more. Is there any way I can improve better than what is available? And all the clinical study that in the market I formula was, they always had a lutein and zeaxanthin, and they will add some other vitamin C, vitamin E like that formulation.
Mm-hmm.
So they were clinical trial, and it has some benefit, no question about it. And so, but I want to have maximum benefit. And so then I found out that eagle bird, They
Yes.
see their prey from way in the sky to the ground and pick up and eat. So it occurred to my mind saying, what is in their eye that they can see that far? And we can't see that far. Then found out they have an additional antioxidant called astaxanthin. So I said, well, that's the reason. So
I think it
the
was
human has two
caffeine
pigments, but
and
the eagle has a three pigment. So then
Advil
I
that
said, maybe that's why they see better. But I found out, is that
Jessica took for.
astaxanthin is toxic or anything? No, it is not only not toxic at all. It is just like a lutein and zeaxanthin, but also it accumulates in the in the retina part of the eye, which is very oxygenated in a
Wow.
highest amount. No other antioxidant that we have, even lutein or zeaxanthin, is not enough there to protect your. But so we said, okay, then I can provide astaxanthin. It is a non-toxic and it accumulates much higher level in a retina portion of the eye, which is very sensitive to free radical damage and causes all kind of a problem with the drainage of the liquid and then build up the pressure. And so our formulation has a lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. So this is very important from the free radical point of view to protect against glaucoma. Here is the iBoost. You can see that it has a 3, and so I think it is. And many people who are taking it claim that this is very good, including my own wife and my son. My son has a genetic component because my wife has it, and she has also genetics. So in any way, their eye pressure, and she was getting some kind of a eye drop from the doctor, and was not getting too much down. And so once she started taking iBoost, and in both cases, now the pressure come down to 14, 15 like that, which is the normal range. So it has been very effective. At least I can give you 2 examples of my own family. And I never have that problem. But still I take it every day just to make sure it doesn't develop such problem. And so this is that's why iBoost is very good. So in combination with the micro daily or micro daily EMF, you must take the iBoost as well. Now
So,
the
Dr.
second most
Prasad,
important, yes.
this before you move on to give us a little bit more, this astaxanthin, most of us have never heard of lutein and zeaxanthin to begin with. So just to be clear,
Yeah.
most of us have no idea that these are antioxidants in our eyes. So thank you very much for making that clear for us, no pun intended. But you're saying that our eyes can literally benefit from that particular astaxanthin that's in the eagle's eyes. It actually accumulates in our eyes and makes our vision potentially can improve how it operates?
Yes, because it will protect against oxidation. The area of retina is well protected because even antioxidant, vitamin A, C, E, or even their own antioxidant, zeaxanthin and lutein, is not sufficient amount to protect 100% protection. But astaxanthin, since they accumulate much higher, several hundred times more than any other antioxidant in the retina part of the eye, which is very sensitive to free radical, and that's why it is so powerful.
That's pretty amazing, Dr. Prasad. I've got, I do have one testimonial where Liz Henry shared this with us. Well, I went back to look at my archives to see if anyone said that they had any benefits from Micro Daily or iBoost with serious vision problems. Yeah. And one popped up, Dr. Prasad. I was surprised. I said, okay, I've got to just share this because folks may want to hear this. So before you tell us the rest of it, let me just see if I can get this to play real quick, okay?
Sure.
My niece lives in Buffalo, New York. She had what they called a stroke in her eye.
Oh.
This has been about 7 months ago. It has to do with the retinal damage to the nerve. and she was told that she was going to go blind. They gave her injections. I don't know what the injections were, but they gave her injections for 7 months. And every time she went back, there was no improvement. Well, she heard about Microdaily. Her mom, my sister, was taking it, and she decided to look into it. She asked me to give her a subscription for the iBoost. I did that. So she's been taking it maybe 2 months now, maybe a month and a half. She went back to her doctor, her eye doctor, just the other day, and he told her, I don't know what you're doing. It's not just stabilizing, it's actually improving. So she asked, the question was, do you think the iBoost will help my eyes? Do you think it will make me not go blind? And I said, well, we can't say what it will do, but we can say that it's worth a try.
Yes.
So she called me to tell me that.
Yes.
And she's only taking, I think she's taking a little bit of Microdaily because she's borrowing it from mom, but the iBoost has really helped her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
It's always exciting to hear when anyone has a dramatic response like that. Wow. So for 7 months, she was making no progress whatsoever, and now suddenly
He would have been happy just to know that it was stabilizing, that it was not any worse. He says not only has it stabilized, it's actually improved.
How many iBoosts was she taking?
I really can't say for certain, but I did tell her to follow the instructions in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she was taking at least one twice a day.
wow.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So Dr. Prasad, she's not sure what the condition was, but this her niece was getting injections in her eyes. And she added your formula, Microdaily and the iBoost specifically.
Yeah.
And the eye doctor said it's not only stabilized, not just you would have been stabilizing, but
I mean, theoretically, I expected that, but when you hear the reality, then I said, oh, yeah, it works. But further improvement can be made in that one, further.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the Astaxanthin, all this information. There is another place which plays a central part in the initiation and progression of glaucoma. One is, guess what? You can almost guess it. Intestinal dysbiosis.
In the gut.
In the gut. This has been shown by many. I was looking, once I heard your program, glaucoma, I went over some literature on this issue because I was not very well informed. I knew general picture, but detail, I didn't know that. And so intestinal dysbiosis participates. It is not just there and does something, it participates in the progression. And the reason is because it produces a lot of inflammatory molecules, which are very damaging to all parts of your body, organs. But anyway, in this case, it is also true. In intestinal dysbiosis, almost any disease they participated. And so the question is that then how you do it, how you reverse the intestinal dysbiosis so that now you have a more beneficial bacteria than harmful bacteria. And one and only way is probiotics with prebiotics. It's very important. Without prebiotics, sometimes people just sell probiotics. No, if you don't have prebiotics, prebiotics is only the fiber there. And fiber is needed for good beneficial bacteria to ferment it and produce a lot of beneficial compound for your body. And so I think it is very important that you take care of the intestinal dysbiosis issue. And so that's one thing. Then I saw another literature saying that people who were older people who were taking omega-3 fatty acids, they have a reduced risk of developing the glaucoma. And so, I mean, it is expected because glaucoma is also a lot of membranous structure there. And the omega-3 is a fatty acid and required for membrane, makes the membrane very healthy. So I'm not surprised that omega-3. But when you think of glaucoma, you don't think any omega-3 can have any role. But if you look
Right.
carefully, that eye has a lot of membranous structure, and membranous structure all needed a fatty acid like omega-3, like brain, and so in brain 40% of the fatty acid is omega-3, DHA, and so I think so. I'm sure that so if you have and they also omega-3 also have a by different mechanism of antioxidant and anti-inflammation activity, not as powerful as zeaxanthin or astaxanthin, but it has some effect on it. So a combination of these things approach is very important. And then it comes to a last question in my mind was, what about collagen peptides? Suddenly we found out that many structure of the eye requires collagen for maintaining their function. Because if you lose collagen, you can lose from all over the place, brain, eye, and therefore people who were taking a collagen peptide, they have reduced risk of, and also if they have already the glaucoma. And another good thing that Jonathan, you mentioned, that none of the components that we are suggesting it for prevention and improved treatment of glaucoma has any interaction, bad interaction, adverse interaction with any medication that your doctor is recommending it. Like my wife was taking she has a genetic component and taking the eye drop. But she was taking these things. Eye drop was not sufficient because it was not decreasing their high blood pressure, but at least it was preventing it not going any worse. But when she started taking iBoost, then the pressure came down. Because it protected. Yeah, it will protect it. And so these are all core 4. And plus also I said that, digestive enzyme. Because if you are older and as you grow older, your body capacity to produce digestive enzyme decreases. This is law of nature. You can't change it. And so you have to supplement it by digestive enzyme. But if you are younger, say in 40, you don't need digestive enzyme until you eat a lot of food in one day. But otherwise, normally you don't. But if you are in a 50 and over, then your body is going to produce less enzyme, and then you can't digest fully protein, carbohydrate. That can cause bloating, constipations, and these kind of things. That's not good for your health. So
That's
combination of these core 4 plus digestive enzyme, I always say
My
that.
goodness. Dr. Prasad, this is just remarkable. Just so that folks can have a visual.
Yeah, probiotics, you can see here probiotics. And this probiotics is unique because if you just added a standard that you get in a yogurt bacteria, beneficial bacteria with bifido and bacillus, lactobacillus strain, then when they go to their stomach, 60-70% are destroyed in acid. They are very acid sensitive. Then they go to the intestine where you have another bile acid, so you further damage those things. So I said, well, that's not enough. So I said, I have to find out something that is acid resistant so they don't get destroyed when they go to stomach or intestine. And I found 2. One was called Bacillus coagulant. Bacillus coagulant is the only beneficial bacteria approved by the FDA to be given to infant formula because intestine is sterile, and there's a high risk of bad bacteria forming a colony there. So to prevent that, they added. So I looked at what is Bacillus coagulant. Well, it is also present normally in your body. It is one of the bacteria. Then I said, is there any other one? And people have tried Bacillus alone, Bacillus coagulant alone, not with the other mixture that we have. That is very important. but just alone in the intestinal inflammatory bowel syndrome. And they produce, it is some improvement, but not optimal improvement, some improvement. And so I said, let me look it. So they found, this is derived from the yeast, Saccharomyces boulardii. This is another one which are heat, not only acid resistance, but also heat. So during manufacturing process, they don't get destroyed. So that's why our formula is unique, because not only you have a classical beneficial bacteria, but we have two additional bacteria that are very acid resistant.
Wow.
So that's why it's so.
This is pretty impressive, Dr. Prasad. Let me just tell our audience a little bit about how they can get this stuff. We got some more testimonies we want to share with you in just a moment also. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
So listen, folks, for those of you who are here for the first time, Engage Global bundles these two things together so you can get them on subscription. So just remember that, folks. So talk to the person who invited you here, and they'll guide you on this. So you want, at the very least, this as a basic bundle. Now, in addition to that, if you call customer service, they'll add in the iBoost, and we'll give you a 10% discount on it. So whatever the cost of the iBoost is, they'll give you a 10% discount on that. And then same thing with the omega-3 daily. Well, there's different bundles. Dr. Prasad talked about this one. This is another bundle that you'll go with, as well as the collagen daily. So all of that basically is right there in the Dr. Prasad core there. And you'll see the core 4. So those are all the items Dr. Prasad mentioned, with the exception of the
break in here for just a minute. And I think there's a couple more testimonials that may come up, but I think we have some stories here on our meeting live that we can share with you. But now you've just got an earful from the scientist himself sharing the details about how his formula has an impact, and individuals that share their stories. So the eye is critically important. So if you are one of those persons now that have had some benefit from Dr. Prasad's formula, maybe you can go ahead now and share with us your story. So feel free to raise your digital hand, and we'll go ahead and entertain your story for just a couple moments before we go on to give a conclusion and tell folks how they can get access to the products. You know, because we do want to make an announcement about the different products that that Engage Global has just released. So amazing new products. So Wanda Kearns first. Wanda Kearns. Go ahead, Wanda Kearns.
Okay, so
there you are. Go ahead.
I was on the core 4, and well, honestly, I was taking everything, and I didn't know what was helping me. But I have genetic glaucoma, and even on the Lumigan for about 10 years, my numbers were still 17, 18, 19, whenever I would go every 3 to 4 months. And so once I started taking the product, I went to the doctor, to the my doctor, and he did his usual little test, and he says, I have really good news. Your numbers are down to 12. And he said, that is so, I am so happy. He said, he was so excited. And he said, so we'll just keep you on the Lumigan because it's working. And I'm saying, after 10 years, now it's working all of a sudden. So I knew what it was, but I didn't tell him. So he says, well, he wrote this little prescription, and the Lumigan is pricey because Medicare doesn't cover it. Well, not at free like I like, but it's like $100 a month. So I continue to use it because it makes my eyelashes grow, but I don't need it anymore. I just put it on my eyelashes. My numbers are perfect. I also has nothing to do with my vision, but I wanted to see if this product was really what it was. I'm very skeptical. So I quit taking my cholesterol medication because I have high cholesterol. I had high cholesterol.
Oh,
I quit taking my cholesterol medication, my blood pressure medication, and my thyroid medication. And then 3 months later, I had my, go to my doctor every 3 months, and my numbers were perfect. No more high cholesterol. I didn't tell my doctor that I had quit taking anything because, you're not supposed to. I knew I was wrong. I didn't even want to admit it here to you guys to let you know that I did that.
As long as you know it, and as long as you're admitting it, go ahead.
Yes, I knew it was dangerous, but I just really wanted to find out if this stuff was as good as people say, and it is. It really is. I'm a believer.
That's incredible, incredible, Wanda. And thank you for being willing to share your story. And
You're welcome.
go ahead and come clean. Just come
Yeah,
clean
I
and tell it. Tell it all. Just tell it all. Let everybody know what happened.
Right.
So, but we will do our best to make sure that your doctors do not get this recording. Okay. So
Thank you. Thank you.
we'll try to shield you from that. So
I will tell her though when I go back. I have an appointment this month. And so when I go back, I'm going to tell her what I'm taking, and I'm going to show it with her and try to get her to take it too. So I will confess.
don't hold your breath on her taking it or
I
adding it
know.
to the program. So
I know.
yeah, but thank you very much. Your comments, by the way, are going to help a lot of people. So you're going to be instrumental in helping a lot of people because you're willing to share your story. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And let's go to Ashley Davis first here. Ashley Davis. And Bob, if we have time, we're going to get back to you. So
all right, thank you very much. What if you're hearing me okay? Using a headset.
if you Ashley or Anthony, if you're able to be on camera, that would be great. But if you're not, that's okay.
Well, yeah, camera is kind of tough.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Oh, I was just observing though from the last testimony here that we are so controlled by the official doctor system that even something for our own good health, we have a little challenge. You know, going against their prescriptions. I don't know.
Right.
But I find something is wrong with that. Anyway, because for my own good health, I mean, if your prescription is not helping me, come on. I'm not obliged. But anyway, okay. I'm just want to say that yeah, the iBoost works. It does. It does work very well for me. I what they call short-sighted. And normally, if I drive without my glasses or anything like that for any period of time, it's like a whole heap of headache. But over a couple of years of using the iBoost, I've been able to pretty much go without my glasses. I drive without it even at nights, which was a no-no in the past. No headaches, and it's like my eyesight is improving all the time. I do take it regular dose mostly. Initially, I was taking like a double dose, but mostly I take regular dose, and I take the brain boost as well. And then mostly I am on the core 4, but not all the time.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Nice to hear that story of the benefits you're getting. And by the way, the reason why we comment so much about following your doctor's instructions is because obviously YouTube will shut down our video if we don't make sure that we're not recommending it. Each individual, you have the freedom to say what you want, but I always have to come back in and make sure that that does not reflect the view of this channel. So, but you can say anything you want. So that's all. I just to make that clear.
Okay.
So, but thank you very much for your comment there, Tammy Shelby. Let's go with Tammy.
Hi. About 3 years ago, I started seeing floaters in my eyes. I've been wearing glasses since junior high, and I'm nearsighted. So I definitely have to wear my glasses at night. And when I started seeing those floaters, they sent me to a specialist, and she said that my eye was aging faster than what it should. And that at my age at the time, let's see, I was 54, that that should be happening to me when I'm 64. And so she said, well, we're going to give you some drops and we'll see you in a year and see how things are going. So went back the next year, still having issues. I am diabetic. And she said, I don't see a diabetic eye. But then when I went that following year, now she started to see the diabetic eye. So I go again and same thing, no improvement. Everything's the same. The diabetic eye is still the same. But this year, when I went to the eye specialist, 4 months before my appointment, I started taking the iBoost. I've been on the Core 4 since November of 2024. And so, like I said, 4 months ago, I started taking the iBoost. In August, early August, I went to the eye specialist and she says, now why are we, she goes, I'm comparing with what you have now. Why are we seeing you? I said, well, one, about the floaters, but I haven't had those in a long time. And she said, yeah, but she says, Tammy, your vision is now 2020. And
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, she said, so how are you with these glasses? She looked at my glasses and I said, well, I sometimes wear them. I sometimes don't. I went back to an older pair that's like 6 years old. And she said, your eyes are they're just improved and they're stronger and there's no diabetic eye. She's like, don't see diabetes in the eye. She goes, so has your diabetes cleared up? And I said, my A1C went from 9.8 to 7.4 down to 6.1. And I haven't got the blood work yet to see what my next one is. So I'm excited to see, but my numbers in the morning have been really, really low. And so she said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to see you next year. And if you're still good, then there's no reason for you to come back. She said, but did you go to your eye doctor yet? And I said, no, because I didn't want to get a new pair of glasses. And she's like, no. She said, if you want to go, that's fine. She said, but I wouldn't change the prescription you're in. And I said, but you do realize this is a 6-year-old pair of glasses. And she says, oh, well, then I guess you're fine. So I was glad because I wanted to see if this really, really worked, because I know that for my diabetes, the Core 4 has really, really helped me. So I was excited to hear that my eyes are good. And like the gentleman before, I still wear my glasses at night. I don't want to take a chance, especially when you have other people in your car. But I can drive without my glasses now and be perfectly fine.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we have Fulvia. Go ahead, Fulvia.
Hello, everyone. I've struggled with diabetes for over 20 years, and glaucoma was an issue. Now, in the last year plus, diabetic retinopathy. I take everything except sleep boost, but everything else I take. Just taking the norm at first, and then I had to increase the EMF, and I think I take about 24 a day. Between I do 4 of the hydros, and then I do 6 and 6 of the capsules. Long story short, glaucoma, which I had eye pressure of 57 in my eyes. And for the last 4+ months, it's steadily been 14 in one eye and 16 in the other eye. And that's because I believe I increased the iBoost. I'm now taking 3 in the mornings and 3 in the evenings. The one thing I'm still having difficulties with is the fluid and swelling, which is the diabetic retinopathy in both eyes, mostly the right eye. And I don't know if I need to increase anything else. I've also increased my omega, just everything. So I'm not sure, but I am seeing better. My challenge is not being able to read unless it's big and bold. I don't see it.
Right.
Unless you write up on me or something, my phone has to be in my face for me to see or to read. But other than that, super fantastic. Glaucoma is off the pass.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing, Fulvia. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Just one suggestion for you, and
Yes.
really this suggestion goes for everyone. To get the lymphatic system moving, make sure that you're trying to get in your steps. So get in as many steps as possible. 7,000 steps a day is ideal, especially for someone who's diabetic, but for all of us, try to get those steps in. That will help with the lymphatic system. And if you can
Okay.
get a rebounder, just bouncing on a rebounder 5 minutes every 3, 4, 5 times a day, whatever you can, to get up to about 30 minutes for the day will be life changing. It will be life changing. And you can
Okay.
get some of the rebounders that have a handle on it. And
Okay.
try to get the ones with not that doesn't have a spring. Try to get the ones with a bungee cord, and that would be the least impactful, on the joints. And
Okay.
no cartwheels, no flips, no, don't get
Okay.
but even if your feet never leave the mat, as long as you're bouncing, that's making the lymphatic system move. And that will help with
Okay.
drainage. Okay, so it's the fluid drainage is the key to this whole thing. All right. So you
Okay.
add that to your regimen and you'll find yourself improving even more. So thank you very much for sharing your
All
story.
right.
That's
Thank you.
incredible. Incredible. Folks, we're
Yeah.
almost out of time here. And we need to wrap up just a couple seconds. Wilma, can you give us a short version of your story? Wilma Garland?
Okay, yeah, yes. Well, I had the same testimony about my vision, but I just tell about my brother-in-law. He just recently started taking just the original micro daily and the probiotic, the basic bundle. And he started the 1st of July. So he's been on about he had 2 subscriptions of it. So he right before he started taking the nutrients, he had a new pair of glasses, had his prescription increased, upgrade, a new prescription because his vision was decreasing, so got new glasses, and he was doing fine. Then he started taking the nutrients. He can no longer wear those new glasses because he can't see out of them. His vision has improved, so he's back wearing his old glasses. So
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that story. For those of you who have additional testimonials, I apologize, but next week Jeff is going to have our share your story presentation. So please make it your business to come back next week and share your story for everyone. We want to hear all of the testimony. But just to conclude our discussion, the GLP-1 boost has only recently been announced. This is not a semaglutide, but it's a natural stimulant for your GLP-1 and GIP for your body. Jeff, if you're on, we'd love to get some comments from you on these new products. Can you share any comments with us on that? We had Jeff here earlier.
Jonathan, I'm driving. I'm just outside of Milwaukee, and we're on the freeway. But fantastic presentation today with the eyes, and I'm telling you, when we can start supporting the body by correcting the hormone levels,
Yep.
amazing things will happen, and that's exactly how Dr. Prasad's formulation there with the GLP-1 boost. It's designed to support the body's own production, the natural production of the GIP and the GLP-1 hormones. And those of you that realize that just 2 weeks ago in Orlando, we're also taking a direction of supporting the body the body's own production of hormones. Those extremely beneficial hormones, the men and women's formulas that are supporting the hormones. It's been amazing, because that's the final frontier. We've heard about micronutrients. Dr. Prasad has instructed us for years. Then we move into the probiotics and prebiotics, the significance that makes in the gut. And now we're like in that final frontier of the hormones, and things are really, really getting amazing with his latest 3 formulations, and that being the GLP-1 boost, the men's T boost for testosterone, and then the women's menopause relief boost, which really goes after the estrogen hormones, those pathways that really help balance the body. So anyway, just driving along and just so supportive of things that are happening here with Dr. Prasad's incredible formulations. It's just amazing. And Jonathan, you've got it there on the screen. You can start it all with the bundles, whether it's the basic bundle or our core 4. It is amazing. Make sure you call in to customer service. They're open Monday through Friday, and ask for the boost pricing, because Jonathan's not just 10% on a boost product. You're getting $10 off on your first boost, $15 off on your second boost, and $20 off, and those are all additive. So you could be getting up to $45 off of a boost product, and we've got boost products that aren't even that don't even cost $45. So that's the way to do it. But you utilize customer service. Thanks, Jonathan.
Jeff, thank you very much for those comments. That's the only ambassador with Engage Global, and we're excited to have his comments and his insight. And just like you would expect, he caught that error in the recording earlier of Dr. Prasad, where I errantly said it was 10%. So it's $10, $15, and $20 off of the boost that you add on with the orders there. So that's important to remember. So, but you have to make the phone call to get that. You can't order online for that. So you have to make the phone call to get that discount. So that's beautiful. Jeff, thank you very much for your comments there. And I hope everybody got that. GLP-1 boost, menopause relief, and men's T boost. Jeff, can you comment a little bit more? That said menopause relief. Does that mean that there's only women who are in menopause can benefit from that product?
Oh no. You know, my sweetheart sitting next to me here in the van is well beyond menopause, and she's enjoying some incredible benefits of osteoporosis. It's just better bone density. Also with Alzheimer's, Dr. Prasad has talked to her specifically about those two things, being in the age bracket that she is. And we have had young ladies that are having very, very difficult periods. Also, just derive incredible benefits from the addition of this hormonal support called menopause relief boost. So absolutely amazing. And then from the male, that side of the equation, if there's any gentleman on here, I'll tell you what, it's 3 days into it, and I was waking up with a Woody again. And I'm telling you, there is some benefit to just
TMI.
Knowing that all things are working.
TMI.
All things are working. Yeah, we get it. So, hey, and if anybody knows anyone in the Chicago area, that's where we're going to be tonight. And tomorrow we're going to be around the state of Michigan, and then Wednesday into Ohio. So just let us know if we can help you connect with anybody. Just on our way out to Pennsylvania this next weekend, where we'll be hosting the call from. So good to hear that you and Bernard and your teams there in Atlanta are having an incredible weekend. It's just been our pleasure to be here participating with you on this Sunday evening. Thanks, Jonathan.
Jeff, thank you very much. And I'm surprised that you didn't comment about there being an announcement on the news about there being an earthquake or something, because I know that there had to be some measurement on the Richter scale about what happened this past yesterday in Atlanta. It was seismic, no question about it. So wherever you are, if you're near major cities, we're going on tour. So we're going to be doing a 12-week tour. So all over the place, you're going to get an opportunity to attend some of these additional meetings that we're having. Hopefully, we will intersect with Jeff in one of these cities, and maybe even David Nemelka will be coming to join us. But you're gonna be excited about what's happening right now. So we are thrilled. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. My name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator for this afternoon. Next week, you see it on the screen, Jeff Ashby, Share Your Story.